Greetings, wielders. It's something I say in the beginning of every Steam post I ever write. And the reason why I say it is because in Songs of Conquest, wielders are the heroes, and you're the real heroes here. I know, bit cliche, but what do you know? I have a cheerful mode and summer is closing in. Now, we just released a new update. Not long ago, actually, and I want to talk to you about it. Just a little bit, at least. Now, this isn't the biggest one we've ever released. Far from it, looking at the Loft release or AI redevelopment. In size, this is kind of small, but we are introducing some new and very important features. And they are important because they're in it for everyone. They're for the player who really likes, the casual gameplay and just playing the story of our game, but it's also for those who want a challenge, trying to test themselves against AI or against friends. Now, we're going to get back to the details of this update in just a bit. We're going to talk to you about the big parts of it, the notable additions, as we call it in our changelogs. But we're going to talk to you about a couple of boring things first. I guess for some of you it's not boring stuff, but it's not as fun to talk about. And that's bugs. Now, one of them that we have, and one of them that we have been working on these last few weeks, and working on quite intently, is disconnect issues. It's hassling and annoying when you're about to win a game of skirmish against your friends, and you get disconnected, and you can't log back in. So that's a thing that we've been working on, and hopefully this will change. This will make it easier for you to get back into the fight and I guess, win, right? Because you weren't losing, probably. Now, our main goal is to make sure that this doesn't happen as often. Of course, the end game is that, the end game goal is that we don't want it to happen at all. Disconnect issues should be a thing of the past. Now, we're not there yet, of course, but we have found some reason why it's happening, and those issues are being fixed. We are looking for the rest of them, but our team isn't as big right now. Now, it's nothing dramatic. It's just because that they have already packed their bags, put on some flower crowns on their head, and disappeared into the Swedish forests. Good for them. Holiday season in Sweden is beginning. And for, as I said, some of the staff, it has already begun. Now, our team has been playing detective, as I said, and they are definitely getting there. But please remember that this is still in early access, and although we found a lot of issues, we haven't found all of them yet. We've also worked on some low-hanging fruits when it comes to the bug department. Those that really little things and big things that put a tarnish in your games, and we want to fix that. And we want to fix that before the holidays, and a lot of them has been fixed. We'll get back to the details and we'll talk to you about bugs, and you can look through the entire list in our changelogs. Now, why talk about bugs? Why mention them at all? Why not just sweep them under the rug? Well, it's because we kind of like transparency here. We want you guys to know what we are working on, and we're not ashamed to admit when something goes wrong. It's easier that way to actually fix things. Now, if you want to report bugs and stuff that you find in our game, we love it when you do. And if you don't know how to do it, just press the letter B as in Bravo or Bolt Gun 3 times when you're playing the game, and you can leave a nice and cool bug report. So what kind of bugs are we talking about? Well, some are new and some are old. Some are newer and bigger, and others are just small enough to have fallen through the cracks. But we got to them in the end. There's an entire list, of course, and we'll at least go through the highlights. First of all, although it's on the bottom of the list, it's the fixes to reconnects. I've already mentioned those, so let's sort of head on. The other one is important for all the Loth players out there, and for those who are still going on with the Loth campaign. Now, there was an issue saying that you didn't receive a Risen, the little zombies that you get when you're those who have sworn the oath to Aurelia get back up again. But that should be fixed by now. There was a bug when AI didn't seem to clear its selected region. That was a pathing issue that had sort of resuffered or resurfaced, I think the word is. Because sometimes there's something called an AI regression. You get it in kids too, when they sort of go back to an earlier problematic behavior. They act young again, even though they've grown older and wiser since. We also fixed an issue where AI wielders were not always choosing the best AI, but choosing their skills correctly. Hopefully that's over and done with. We also fixed an issue with custom mods not being loaded into the game properly. Now this was important. Some of you play with the community created mods that are out there. Some are created by us and some are created by others. If I can recommend a mod right now, I should try the Town Portal one. It's a classic from other games, and there's a mod. We implement it into ours. That's cool, and it adds definitely a layer of it. Now, it's not something we're adding officially just yet, but it is still out there. We also fixed an issue where the computer, you, didn't count the garrisoned soldiers of an enemy fortress when checking threat. This made some battles look easier than they were. But that's enough about bugs. I never liked them anyway. Personally, I'm one of those who sort of jump a bit too high when one of those pesky creatures land on me. And it's not always a practical thing, because it's strange. Sometimes I enjoy, camping in medieval tents. In fact, next week I'm going off on a LARP, doing exactly that. So what's new? Well, there are cool things aplenty. I mean, look at this cool list. And by that, I mean you should. You should look at it. I personally read it every night for my kid when I tuck her in. She has a stuffed rat, which reminds me of a young brother Hillar. But personal stories aside, there is a link in the description that will send you to the updated changelog. But there's one thing that really stands out, and that is the updated player settings. It's there for customization beyond your wildest dreams, as long as your dreams are not that wild. But they are there to give you adaptability and customization. Everything your nerdy heart sort of needs when it comes to Songs of Conquest. So let's look a bit deeper into it. So let's talk about player settings. It's a fun thing, and it's there for your adaptability. But before I can show you the details, just head on over to Single Player Skirmish, and I'll show you the meat and grit of it. Now this is the Lion's Den. It's a large map, 8 players battling out for survival. And it can get complicated. Now, if you want a cool, relaxing story kind of mission, well then you might want to give yourself a bit of an edge. And the AI sometimes have edges that you are not aware of. If you look at the settings for one of our awesome AI, Rickrock, no, it's Dorgak. Now, their income multiplier, troop production, and XP bonus multiplier is just slightly more than you are used to. Now, your own is on a good on average. This is how a standard game starts. But let's change that. Let's change it up a bit and make things a bit more different. Now, perhaps you have a strong day. You've been battling out with the AI and kicking their ass, so you feel that you want to give them a bit of an edge. Let's lower the income multiplier. Now, you're only going to earn half of what you did before. You might even want to loosen up a bit and earn less troops. Now, this affects nearly all production. Perhaps you want to start with a marketplace to sort of, not be too mean to yourself. Easily done. This will be sort of an invisible marketplace. But if you want the XP bonus multiplier, level up those wielder quicker than ever, well, you can raise it, or if you want that challenge, lower it. If you forgot all about those, whatever there was from the start, just reset them to default. This is the standard game setting. You can also do this to all the AIs. Perhaps you want one of them getting a bit of an edge than the others. You can also change teams so that one of them is friendly and just way better. So, as you can imagine, this might change and affect your games in a plethora of ways. And we can't wait to hear the stories that you cook up with this new feature. Regardless, we hope you enjoy it. And that was the last one. And by that, I mean this was the last update before we head on off to summer. Now, we'll be back sometime in August, and we'll be back with more updates and more news. Some of them are more exciting than others. We'll be back with more updates, patches, and possibly a few cute bugs as well. But we hope that you'll find them, and that we'll find them in time. But until then, from all of us at Lavapotion, have a great July. And regardless what you do with it, work, play games, enjoy the winter or summer, depending on where you are, we really hope it's a good one. If you want to stay in contact with us, send something to our socials. We usually respond in a while. Now, responses might take a bit longer than usual, but we really enjoy keeping in contact with you guys. So we'll probably answer before you know it. Now, have a great one. Goodbye.